Hey everyone, hope you guys are enjoying Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak in whichever platform you're choosing to play it on. And today we're going to be going over pretty much the latest information that we got thanks to the latest Monster Hunter Rise Showcase digital event presentation that Capcom just finished holding, showcasing us pretty much the bonus slash sixth and final free title update content drop that will become available, as I said, pretty much in all of my videos leading up to this presentation event on June 8th, aka tomorrow, if you're watching the day this video goes live, which usually most people do. So pretty much we knew that the next day after the presentation, this DLC will end up dropping and going live, because pretty much that is the new setup that they tried to do for the last two final updates. Now, as far as content drops are aware, of course they showcase just Primordial Malzeno. So yes, indeed, once again, the leaks were 100% accurate. So for those people wondering, you know, why we talk about leaks, is because they are usually accurate, especially if you know where to look, especially if you're talking about data mines. So Primordial Malzeno seems to be just Malzeno without the curio. So it's just white, it has some yellow to it, there's no red or anything like that, which was the power of the curio. So visually it looks striking. It very much looks like a Kushala Daora at first glance a little bit, to me at the very least. Do let me know in the comments what does it look like for you specifically, but for me personally it kind of looks a little bit like a Kushala Daora on its own. But the best part of it is, of course, that it's not the only thing that we are gonna get. Not only is it, of course, a brand new quest that is going to be available, and pretty much there's cutscenes tied specifically to it, but there's of course a couple of event quests that will end up being part of it. And this is something that they spoke about soon after the quick little trailer that they showcased, where pretty much a couple of event quests will be supported through the game through late July, I believe is what they said. So we're gonna get somewhere around 8 to 9 quests. If you watch my 4-part leaks video, which was relatively long to put together, you already know that at the very least 5 or 6 of those are hazard quests, and they specifically talked about in the presentation where plenty of those quests will be high difficulty yield. So if you're looking for a real challenge, this is what we are going to be looking at. Now, another quick takeaway that I also picked up on the presentation itself was the fact that they did specifically mention that Amatsu was supposed to be the final monster included into the game, and it was supposed to be a part of the 5th free title update. But they specifically mentioned that they wanted to give some attention and go back to pretty much give the monster for Sunbreak some glamour, some hope, and pretty much showcase that this new Malzeno was more than just meets the eye. So they did specifically end up answering at the very least one of the questions in a video that I posted, where I simply asked, why did they end up splitting up all the DLC? Why did they end up removing one of the monsters and making it its very own update? And pretty much they finally provided us an answer to that. They wanted to give Malzeno a spotlight. They wanted to give it its own luster. It was going to get overshadowed by Amatsu for good reason. It's an amazing monster. It was an amazing fight. It was a fun one. But at the end of the day, they wanted to give it some attention and some love, and this is essentially what they ended up doing. At the same time, though, they did also speak a little bit regarding a couple of brand new additions. So they did specifically mention, of course, this new Malzeno, Primordial Malzeno, comes with a brand new armor, new weapons. I did specifically talk about that, of course, there's going to be a brand new skill to this Primordial Malzeno, and it, alongside Amatsu, will be the only 2 unique skills that will be tied to the armor set themselves. They will not be appearing through curious crafting, decorations, or talismans. So do keep that in mind going forward. We know that based off of the leaks. They didn't get to that kind of detail in the presentation, but of course, that is what we know ahead of time. So they did confirm that. They also spoke about new decorations coming into the game. We knew that. They teased a couple of them already, but it's good to know. They showcased a couple of them. I didn't get really to pick up the names, but based on the mines, we kind of already know what else is coming. I believe it's 6 to 8 new decos that are going to be making their way into this final update. And then they specifically spoke about introducing armor augmentation, and I believe they called that augmentation slots plus. So if you're looking for deco slots for your armor pieces at the cost of either skills, resistances, and or armor, you're going to be able to get extra slots. Now remember, this is something that I spoke about leading into the launch and the teaser of this entire set of presentation, and I spoke about deco slots pretty much being like the final tally where players are, you know, the thing that you're like re-rolling for is pretty much this specific like bonus. Is a lot of people are not necessarily looking for unique skills anymore, and that is because so many decorations have some of the best skills already available to them, so you'd rather go for deco slots. And based on what they quickly showcase here, at the very least on the Malzeno part, they showcase you can re-roll and get like a +2 on the first deco slot and a +1 on the third one, which doesn't have that. So you're looking at just losing one skill like Wirebug Whisper is what they showcased here. You can lose 26 defense and re-roll +3 deco slots. So the second, I believe it's a 2 and 2. The first deco slots for that Malzeno helm that they showcased, it turns into a 4, 2, and 1. So that is a massive difference. So plenty of good skills are going to be added to the actual you know, armor pieces, based off of the fact that you are now going to be able to reroll for decos, not necessarily unique or rare skills, which are good. There's so many good unique skills there now, but I think a lot of people are probably going to go for decos instead and stick to some unique skills through, you know, talismans and stuff like that, which we now know so many good talismans, god tier talismans, can be obtained relatively easy. So that, I believe, was the bulk of the presentation itself. They did showcase a couple of, I believe, one new armor is not going to be 3, which is really weird. But, you know, more information, of course, we'll be talking about that. They said that there's going to be no more paid DLC. They're just going to bundle a couple of them and make them discounted. So that's pretty good. And then at the back end, they did showcase, other than the developer discussion, which I guess I can make a separate video on, see if there was anything worthwhile there that I want to like talk about a little bit. But they did say that the 4th, 5th, and 6th free title updates, so this is version 16.0, which we will be talking about the patch notes as they go live probably tomorrow. It will be dropping on August 24th for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC Windows. So August 24th is right before September. Of course, in September we're expecting Tokyo Game Show to have some sort of news for the next mainline game. So everything is lined up relatively well. It's interesting that they're choosing August for this, not July. I expected it to be late July, but you know, basically August is when we can expect the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC Windows updates. So that's pretty much all the information that I have here at first glance. I do want to go over some of the information found on the website at a later date and more details to come. If you're brand new to my channel though, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. As always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.